Good evening, Facebook, YouTube, Daily Motion, and Twitter. This is Rich again, back for your third and final video blog of the night for Thursday, March 5th, 2015, around 8:42 p.m. in Billerica, Massachusetts. It's cold out. It's going to be down to single digits. Tomorrow's going to be another cold day. What else is new this winter? But this could be the last cold day below freezing for the temperatures for quite some time, because beginning on Saturday we're going to go for a warm-up, and next week we could reach 50. It's good because we're going to get the slow melt, and we need it. Some news to report. Prayers to actor Harrison Ford, who got involved in a lane crash on a golf course in California. He suffered some minor injuries or major injuries, depends what source you hear, so prayers to him. And also 70% of the people who are going to get a tax refund from the IRS in the United States this year are going to use the tax refund money to pay off their personal debt, which that's a good idea. If they have a personal debt, you don't want to get the debt bigger and bigger, so pay it down. And that's about it on that. My third and final video blog subject of the night is about one of the most famous Toronto Maple Leafs players of all time. I'm talking about center Matt Sundin. Matt was the captain of the Maple Leafs for 10 seasons. He was one of the best European-born players in National Hockey League history, and he also holds a lot of Maple Leafs offensive records. Matt Sundin was born and he grew up in Sweden. He played hockey at a young age, and he played on some Swedish teams when he was growing up. Matt Sundin was the first NHL player, European-born NHL player, to be drafted first overall in the NHL draft back in 1989 with the Quebec Nordiques. Matt Sundin did not make his NHL debut into 1990 because he had to fulfill a commitment for playing for Swedish teams in his native Sweden. But when he came to the NHL in 1990, he was a consistent force at center, and he played on a Nordiques team that was rebuilding with Joe Sakic, eventually Olin Nolan, and a couple of others. Matt Sundin played 4 seasons with the Nordiques, and he was getting to be a great center. He only made the playoffs once in a Nordiques uniform in 1993. They got bounced in first round by the Montreal Canadiens. They hated rivals. In 1994, Matt Sundin was traded by the Nordiques to the Toronto Maple Leafs for Wendell Clark, who was a fan favorite and the captain of the Maple Leafs at that time. A lot of fans were outraged about that in Toronto, but it turned out to be a great deal, because for the next 13 seasons, Matt Sundin was the leader of the Toronto Maple Leafs. He became captain of the team in the 1997-1998 season and was captain for the Maple Leafs for 10 seasons. And he had his best years in the NHL with the Maple Leafs. He led the Maple Leafs to 2 conference finals, 1999 and 2002. But the Maple Leafs did not make it to the Stanley Cup Finals. They haven't made it to the Stanley Cup Finals since 1967 when they won it. And they haven't been back to the Stanley Cup Finals since. And Matt Sundin had great leadership and stuff, and he was a consistent goal scorer for the Maple Leafs. He left the Maple Leafs after the 2007-2008 season. The Maple Leafs weren't going to resign him, and he ended his career in the 2008-2009 season with the Vancouver Canucks. And Matt Sundin had 17 seasons of 20 or more goals, very consistent. 9 times he played in the NHL All-Star game. 2 times he was the NHL second All-Star team postseason team. He played in 5 World Championships for hockey for his native Sweden. He was on the 2006 Swedish Olympic team that won the gold medal, which is amazing. and he was the captain of the Maple Leafs for 10 seasons. He holds the Maple Leafs record for most goals scored for 420, tied for most assists for a forward for the Maple Leafs, 567 assists, and he had 987 points. Also, Matt's career NHL stats were 564 goals, 785 assists, 1,349 points. He's the highest scoring Swedish-born player in National Hockey League history, and Matt Sundin was probably one of the top 10 best players of all time who were European-born players. And also Matt Sundin in the 90s and 2000s was probably one of the best centers in the NHL, but he wasn't he was a top 10 center, but Matt Sundin never got MVP consideration. He did not even win any major awards in the NHL during his time with them. And Matt Sundin's number 13 was honored by the Maple Leafs a few years ago. And in 2012, Matt Sundin became a first ballot Hockey Hall of Famer. A lot of people were shocked that he got a first ballot Hockey Hall of Fame because they thought he had stats that were similar to several other players who did not get in the first time or who still waiting, like Brendan Shanahan and Dave Andreychuk or Mark Leckie. But his former coach, the late great Pat Quinn, who was on the Hockey Hall of Fame committee at that time, probably was a strong advocate to get Matt Sundin in for the first try, and also the Hockey Hall of Fame in Canada, and that probably might have helped. But hey, if he if he had the stats to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, I have no problem with that. And Matt Sundin's a legend in Toronto and stuff like that. He's probably one of the, I think, probably one of the best players in Maple Leafs history. It's too bad he did not get to play in the Stanley Cup Finals. And maybe he could have won the cup with the Maple Leafs. Maybe he could have been the one to bring home a cup back to Toronto, but that never happened. Those things never happened, and it was kind of sad. And that's about it on Matt Sundin. And that's about it on my video blogs for the night. Be back tomorrow. Facebook friends, YouTube followers, 3 more video blogs. You probably can't wait. And 3 ones will be, first one will be about the former NBA team, the Buffalo Braves, that played from 1970 to 1978. Tell you about their story. Next will be about LRTA Bus 13, that's the Lowell Regional Transit Authority. This bus goes from Kennedy Center at Gallagher Terminal in Lowell to Burlington, Chestnut Street, and Cambridge Street. It's Billerica. It's signed on as Billerica via Edison Cemetery. And the third and final video blog of the night will be about Carlos Delgado, catcher, first baseman of the Toronto Blue Jays, who spent the majority of his career with the Blue Jays. Coming soon to these video blogs, the Nasty Boys, the old Charlestown Elevated Orange Line section, and lots of others. Eric Cartman's gonna be on it. Maybe the $100,000 Pyramid, some television shows, some sports stuff, including no-hitters and perfect games for Major League Baseball. March 14th is going to be the debut of WrestleMania blogs. I'm going to be revealing all the WrestleManias for WWE's the granddaddy on them all. And next week's personality profiles will be March Madness people for college basketball and baseball. Previews coming at the end of the month. And it could be an April Fool's Day joke on April 1st. And maybe, just maybe, Julie Broughton and Heidi Pratt's video blogs are coming. 2 cute blondes with nice legs. And if you want to shout out or plug, Facebook friends, YouTube followers, Daily Motion, Twitter, private message me, and I'll shout it out or plug it. Have a good night. See you tomorrow. Bye now.